Everybody, just watching the end of this crazy Bills Vikings game. Kind of nuts. Going into the bye week. So let's start off by just going directly into recapping what happened, what you just saw. An amazing game. Still had some problems we're gonna have to work out, but for the most part, an amazing game by the Miami Dolphins taking on the Cleveland Browns, the lowly 3-5 Cleveland Browns. So, not going to waste a lot of time in this post game thing. I'm going to look at some stats here, get you guys to look at it. Obviously, the final score was 39-17. The Dolphins won. And look at the overview here. Let's look at the Dolphins numbers first. Can you see that? Okay. Tua Tagovailoa, 25 of 32, 285 yards, 8.9 average, 3 TDs, no interceptions, no sacks, 135 rating. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Skyler came in, went 1 for 1, and did well. Now we get to like the meat of the day. Jeff Wilson goes 17 carries for 119 yards with a yards per carry of 7 yards per carry. The offensive line, he needs to take the offensive line out to dinner tonight. They need to just be taken out to dinner, taken down to South Beach, go to Joe's, get some stone crabs, do what you need to do. 7 yards per carry with a touchdown, with his longest being 20 yards. Raheem Mostert, not a shabby day himself. 8 carries, 65 yards, 8.1 yards per carry. 8.1 yards per carry and a touchdown in a 24-yard run was his longest of the day. And then Salvin Ahmed came in and cleaned up shop with 3 carries for 11 yards. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. The Dolphins kicked ass on the run. And overall, 33 for 195 for a 5.9 yards per carry average when you put in Tua's and Durham Smythe and stuff like that. But unreal. Unreal. The guys really showed up and played on offense. Receiving, not the best of game because they didn't have to throw as much. Jaylen Waddle, 4 receptions for 66 yards. No touchdowns. His longest is 29. He was targeted 5 times. He caught 4 passes. Trent Sherfield, 4 receptions for 63 yards, 15.8 yards reception, 1 TD, an awesome TD where he caught that ball in the end zone, got both feet down. An amazing play. 27 yards with his longest one. He was thrown at 5 times. He caught 4. Alec Ingold, 4 receptions for 45 yards, 11.3. 1 TD, 17 yards was his longest. He was thrown at 4 times. He caught all 4 passes. Tyreek Hill, not a great day yardage-wise. 5 receptions, 44 yards. Very tiny 8.8 yards per reception. But he did get a touchdown, had his longest day of 20 yards and 6 targets. So, I'll go through some more of this stuff. But what you see is a team that took advantage of what the Cleveland Browns were giving them. And I say giving them, I should say what they were taking from the Cleveland Browns. They were able to get out there, knock these guys on their ass, open wide holes. They completely neutralized Myles Garrett and Xavien Clowney. It was like they weren't even on the field. Were zero factor in a game. Nick Chubb, if we look at his numbers, overall it's going to look good. He had 11 carries for 63 yards, but one of them was 33. It didn't mean anything. 33 yards on that touchdown was a great run, but take that away, that means he was 10 carries for 33 yards. They completely took him out the game. Defense showed up for the most part. Some other problems that they have that they're going to have to work on. Let's see if we go to the overview. Get down here to penalties. What were the penalties? Kicking game. Sanders was 2 for 2 in the field goal, but we know he missed those. He was only 3 for 5 on the extra points. Come on, man. 3 for 5 on the extra points. Cleveland punted once. Miami didn't punt at all. I want to go back here. Where's the actual team stats? Okay, here we go. Here, team stats. Penalties down here. Dolphins were 5 for 43 yards. Cleveland was 6 for 52. But this is the big one here. This was one of the keys to the game, is to win the turnover battle. They won the turnover battle. They did. No turnovers. They took one away, and that fumble from Nick Chubb. And after that, he was basically inconsequential the rest of the game. So let's look at some stuff. Oh, I didn't have that up, so you guys didn't see it. Yeah, no turnovers right there. Inconsequential. He was out of the game. And what I really like, because the running game was working this time, Dolphins also won the time of possession with 33 minutes and 14 seconds. So let's talk about some comments from you guys. What did you guys think about this game? Timeout at 24 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. Are you guys still looking at the Vikings game? Yeah, I guess so. You guys are still talking about the Vikings game. A lot of you guys are talking about is that game not over? I'm reading chat, Phil. I am reading the chat right now. You guys are still going nuts over it. Crazy stuff happening in Buffalo. All right, so I'll pause, and you guys tell me what's going on in Buffalo. Is this game not over? I mean, what the hell is going on? All hell is breaking loose in this game. Oh, my goodness. 30-27, the Vikings are beating the Buffalo Bills with still 24 seconds left on the clock. Oh, my God. This means that we'll see what the Jets do, but do the Dolphins take sole possession of first place? I'm going to refresh here. It says 17 seconds on my thing. It's almost like the Dolphins listen to the SPS that they can't win without. They pretty much did what Mike said here. They pretty much did listen to all this BS this past week with the Dolphins. They can't win without. They pretty much did what the so-called experts said they can do, like run and defend. Absolutely. They played that kind of game. You guys are still looking at, so I guess there's still 11 seconds in the Bills game. They're up 30-27, they being the Vikings. And Duke, are you calling it right now? Are we now first place in the AFC East? Did they actually win this game? Did Minnesota come back and win the game? No, it's not over. I can't believe this Buffalo's going to tie this game up. It's going overtime if he makes this field goal. Oh, my God. Josh Allen dinking and dunking, and his guys are running after the catch. 5 seconds to go. What's it? The Buffalo to get the field goal to tie. Wow. First and goal Bills. That was not a catch. You guys are... Tell me what's going on. I don't have this game on. I do now. I see it's 30-30. Wow. Unbelievable. Tie game. No, not yet overtime. So maybe I was premature in getting to this game, but let me talk to you about some of what people have been saying around the league. Robert Griffin, the third, says, people aren't sleep on Tua. They just don't want to admit that they were wrong. Emmanuel Ocho, Tua finishes the day 25 for 32, 78% completion percentage. NFL lead is 73%, 3 TDs, and no interceptions. Wow. Absolutely wow. I mean, that's just incredible at this point. Let me get over here, look at some more things. Tim Reynolds. So if you guys, you guys are still talking about the RGB3 has been on the Tua train for some time. Yeah, I think he understands where we are with this, and he definitely gets it. Tim Reynolds, the last time the Dolphins were 7-3 was 2001. 21 years since the Dolphins have been 7-3. 24 starting quarterbacks ago, 8 head coaches ago, 7 stadium names ago. Heat had no championships. LeBron was in high school. iPod came out. iPhone was 6 years away. Tua was 3 years old. Mike McDaniel was a Yale freshman, and Tom Brady was a first-year starter. That's one of the most impressive tweets I've seen in regards to the Miami Dolphins and where we are right now. Emmanuel Ocho also said, today Tua has thrown a touchdown to an undrafted fullback, to an undrafted receiver out of Vanderbilt. Seven Dolphins players have over 20 yards receiving. 7 different receivers. Please go crawl back into your troll hole about Tua not being an elite quarterback. Couldn't have said it better myself at that point. Then I saw this by StatMuse. Tua's last 3 games, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 75 for 98 for 77% completion rate and nearly 1,000 yards in his last 3 games. But this guy's not QB1. This guy isn't an MVP candidate. Get the F out of here. Unbelievable. Another one by Emmanuel Ocho. Stop engaging in Tua isn't that good debates. The debate is officially over, and honestly, it's beneath you if you're saying that Tua is not that guy. Pat McAfee, Tua with an incredible display of big brain football on that Jeff Wilson run. Motion, no motion. You stay here. Let's ride. I don't think people understand the complexity of this defense and what it takes for him to be moving these players around the way they do. Barry Jackson, reporter for the Miami Herald, Tua with 10 TDs, no picks, 137 passer rating in 4 games since the Tuscaloosa Times encouraged him to retire because of a concussion. Think about that. 10 TDs, no picks, 137 passer rating in the 4 games since coming back from the concussion. It says it all right there. Nick Hicks, who is his trainer, Jeff Wilson is so good, Jason Sanders is punking us. I hope. I don't think he's punking us. I think there's something wrong with Jason Sanders. And love this one here. Dolphins running back Jeff Wilson, he definitely got that dog in him. No doubt about it. He's got the dog in him. Marcel Lewis, Jeff Wilson looks really good. That trade looking like a brilliant move from Chris Greer. It absolutely was an unbelievable pickup. All it cost was a 5th-round pick. Someone needs to take Chris Greer out for a steak dinner as well. And then Armando Salguero said 5th-round pick for Jeff Wilson at the trade deadline. He has 119 yards today on 17 carries. Absolutely. We just saw a guy that just went nuts out there. The offensive line was blocking for him. He just kept going, no problems. Let's see what you guys have to say since you've been watching. I think we actually, Brett Dodger, you're absolutely correct here. We actually have a running game. I don't think anybody thought coming into the season that we'd have a running game. They knew Tua, they knew Tyreek would have some things going on, but there's no way they anticipated that with all of that passing, with all that speed, that we'd actually have a running game as well. Let's see. I'm going to have to go watch the Viking game. You guys are going nuts here. Phil says, MVP QB1 chance at Hard Rock, hasn't thrown an interception since September. Think about that. He hasn't thrown an interception since September. Tua had some lightning throws today. Very strong looking. That pass to Sherfield. If you guys didn't see it, it's amazing where he put that ball. Where he put that ball that only Sherfield could catch it. And of course, Sherfield got his feet down. Phil, I would love to, I hope there's a tape somewhere. I'd love to see the tape where people are chanting MVP. Absolutely, he's in the race. Absolutely, we need to consider him a contender for it. Absolutely. This is the first time in my 30 years as a Dolphins fan that when we go down, I know we are still in control. Yeah, that says a lot. Absolutely says a lot. What else we got here? So who did you ask this? So Brian says, I asked this before, with Tua being 7-0, would we be undefeated if he didn't get hurt? Likely. No one knows for sure, but can you imagine if he did play those 3 games? I think Cincinnati was looking tough, but I think Minnesota, he would have taken that back, and I definitely think he would have beat the Jets. So it's very, very possible. Exactly, Duke. I don't know. That's a tough question. Like I said, Cincinnati may have been a little bit tough that night, but I think Minnesota and the Jets, I mean, Minnesota's nothing to laugh at. They're right there with the Bills, so it's wow, it's amazing. Miami Mac with a big stat here: 2,265 passing yards, 18 TDs, and 3 interceptions. That's MVP quality, basically at the halfway point. So the Dolphins right now are basically a little bit over the halfway point, but could he throw for 5,000 yards? Possibly, definitely possibly. It's so nice to see us win without major contributions from Hill and Waddle. Ball was spread around, great stuff. Yeah, that's a great point. As a defensive coordinator moving forward, the Texans have got to be going, oh my God, what do we do about these guys? If I cover him, he's going to throw it to him. If I throw it to him, they might run. If they run, then he might open Gesicki. I mean, at this point, it's a nightmare for a defensive coordinator to game out something to play the Dolphins. On the other hand, our defensive coordinator needs to find a way so that they're not giving up a ton of points. Trick 108 says if Tua, and I'm not even going to try to say his whole name, didn't get hurt, they would be 10-0. Very possible. Very possible. Let me go here and look at some more stuff. So, that's pretty much, there's been a lot of comments, but I didn't want to go too long here. I'm going to have a full recap tomorrow, a full recap video that I'm going to post. I'm going to pull down the plays, tell you what went good, what went bad, what we can improve upon once I have all the plays in hand. I just wanted to get a quick recap here. Pablo says here, Pablo, let me get this in here. As impressed as I am with the offense, I'm stoked how our defense ended the game, but the Dolphins always leave you worried about something. Our field goal kicker sucks. Yep, you're right. Good thing now we have a week to just take it all in and rest. Then we got to come back with a team like the Texans, which they should beat. They should beat worse than what they did to Cleveland. And then we've got December. And December is going to be tough. I mean, now is the time to get this defense in order. You don't have the luxury. You got the Bills up in Buffalo. That's going to be a tough game. We got the Jets again. Two teams in the division we're going to be facing here come December. So I'm wondering if Byron or Brandon or Needham are coming back this year. I mean, I love that Justin Bethel did some stuff this week. He really showed out. What's his name? Wasn't playing. How do you say his name? Noah wasn't there. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how they react to this. Bradley Chubb, another week under his belt. He played very well today. Christian Wilkins has to get the defensive game ball. In my opinion, Christian Wilkins showed up and was just, he had a sack. That BS new rule about falling on top of somebody got him a pass. Roughing the passer when he dropped his 350 pounds on Jacoby Brissett. But other than that, the guy played lights out, completely lights out. So we get the defense up to par. Yeah, Chubb made a difference, made one difference. Don't forget, I said Bethel. Yep, he did very well. Defense did play better. I think the Jets are paper tiger. I don't think the Jets can play with us. I really don't. I think Tua wasn't there. I think that the refs let that guy Sauce Gardner get away with so much stuff. They're good. They're not Dolphins quality. And Zach Wilson, I don't know what's up with him. I don't know what's up with Zach Wilson. And also, now with Bradley Chubb facing the Jets and Josh Allen, they're really going to put some pressure on these guys. I think the defense is going to learn to put pressure on these quarterbacks and have the linebackers back there as well. But we got to get this secondary. X-Man played better today. He did play better, but he's still not where he was. I don't know why. I said Bethel. So guys, look for the full recap tomorrow. I'm gonna edit some stuff so you guys have some different things. Thank you for watching if you were here for the actual live game, and thank you for tuning in to the post game. We'll talk to you guys